Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Quite a few comments on this little black pine a while back when I wanted some advice as to should I chop the top off, should I chop it right back. The fundamental bottom line question was, how do I get this to push some branches out? In other words, back bud, and get some side branches, because otherwise I'm just going to end up with a lollipop, which we don't want. And lots of people said put some bends in it, put some wire on it, and that will often generate some back budding. Debatable. Anyway, what one suggestion was, which I'm going to carry out, was if you want to get back budding on a tree, you need vigorous. You've got to get the plant bursting with energy so that it literally bursts out all over the place. Now that made sense to me on the grounds that I suspect this has been in this pot quite a while. There won't be any nutrients left in that peaty type soil. Now that's good actually. I will actually see there's not a huge root ball there, but it is pushing some roots out sideways. And obviously if I put some new media where those, so I'm just gently teasing these root ends so that they will go straight into the new media, which does have nutrients in it because of its makeup. And basically the idea is to get this to grow fast and hard. So it needs some media with some nutrients. It needs some more space for the roots to grow into so that there can be a lot more of them and they're not confined. So far so good, and in addition to that it will get externally fed as well. Now this, the makeup of my mix when I last did this does actually contain some John Innes number 2, which has got nutrients in it, and a basic non-peat based garden compost type mix. So in amongst those two are nutrients. Now in addition to that there's a lot of grit, there's some akadama lookalike stuff. It's baked clay but it's not actually akadama, because as soon as you put the word akadama on the bag you can charge 5 times as much for baked clay. It's the same flipping stuff. So anyway, there's grit, there's plenty of drainage, but enough fibrous material to actually hold moisture. Now hopefully what we're going to get is the new roots to push out into media, searching for nutrients and moisture. That's its point of having roots and growing them, apart from holding it in the ground. And then perhaps we will get something coming out of the sides of this little tree. I've got nothing but patience for this. It's not in my way. Oh, the other thing that individual said was get it in some nutrients, get it fed, get the vigour back into the tree rather than just the straight upright seedling bit pushing for the sky, and give it some sunshine. Now this has been in quite heavy shade. I can't even remember why that was the idea. But anyway, let's get it out and get it some sun for at least a reasonable part of the day. The sun against the needles is internal energy for the tree. So that combined with nutrients at the roots, some extra space for the roots, hopefully will give it that vigour that was suggested. And we'll see how we go. But as I said, I've got patience for this. I've got room on a shelf that gets sun for over half of the day, but not all of it. So it can get some sunshine, and we'll see. I mean, some of my bonsai in the garden I've actually moved to get them out of the sun. The sun we're getting at the moment, for some of the longest days of the year, with the heat, is not good. Not in small little pots. You could actually frazzle your roots, especially if you're out all day. You know, I mean, it depends on your media, obviously, but if you've got an incredibly wet, well, like if you had your trees in Akadama, for instance, You're not going to get away with watering that once a day, not in this weather. So you know, you take your choice with your media really. I like a media that holds some moisture but is also very well drained, hence the amount of grit. I always said when I was taught, if you squeeze your grit, if you can't hear it, then there's not enough grit in there. It's got to make a noise, and that's when you've got enough grit. So we'll get this out in some better light, and now that I've seen in the pot that there are definitely some new root ends, new root tips, hopefully they will push on and the tree will show some signs of branching. That might not happen till next year. I don't know. I mean, it's only whatever it is, heading towards mid-July, so there's still a fair old bit of the growing season left for trees. Bearing in mind pines don't really stop growing in the winter anyway, they just slow down. But we'll see what it does now. And thanks for your time, thanks for dropping by. If you're not subscribed, it would be nice if you did so. And I'll put a link at the end of the video to the previous video on this when we saw its the only difference in the tree was that it had a big long single extension on the top, which I decided to take off. And we'll go from there, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.